WrestleMania 41 is finally here, and as a lifelong wrestling fan, I'm hyped. The entrances, the pyros, the surprise returns, I live for it. But to celebrate the biggest weekend in wrestling, I wanted to do something a little different. Today, we're looking at the times when the world of pro wrestling collided with the world of sitcoms and cartoons. Yep, we're diving into the ring with comedic TV episodes all about wrestling. Even if you don't know a powerbomb from a pile driver, trust me, these episodes are funny. Whether they're poking fun at wrestling's over-the-top characters or using it as a backdrop for chaos, these shows gave us some of the most ridiculous, heartfelt, and unforgettable moments. So in honor of WrestleMania weekend, let's take a trip through the most body-slamming, elbow-dropping, laugh-out-loud TV episodes centered around the squared circle. This is a match card of nostalgia you don't want to miss. Boy Meets World, the THRILLA in PHILA. Corey spirals into an identity crisis when Topanga asks him to list his biggest accomplishment for the yearbook, and he realizes he doesn't have one. He joins the wrestling team to fix that, instantly handed a varsity jacket and a girlfriend named Candy by the team captain. Suddenly, Corey's a jock, or so he thinks. But things get real when Joey, Griff's henchman, joins the team to prove himself, forcing Corey into an actual match. The big fight turns into a full-blown spectacle. Griff illegally books the school gym, sells tickets, invites Robert Goulet, Yasmin Bleeth, and even wrestling legend Vader, who just so happens to be Frankie's dad. Things get chaotic when Corey almost wins, until it basically turns into a tag match. But Vader nearly body slams Eric before Mr. Feeney steps in and shuts everything down. In the end, Corey quits the team, gives up the jacket, and shares a sweet yearbook moment with Topanga. It's part sports parody, part teen coming of age, and all around hilarious. That 70s show, that wrestling show. Kitty pushes Red to bond with Eric, so Red reluctantly joins the gang on a trip to a wrestling match. While Red grumbles about the loud crowd and flashy theatrics, Eric and the others are thrilled, with real-life wrestlers like Ken Shamrock, the Hardy Boys, and Ernie Ladd making surprise cameos. The highlight? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson appears as his real-life father, Rocky Johnson, in a cool nod to wrestling history. Meanwhile, Jackie panics after sleeping with Kelso and tries way too hard to keep him interested. Hyde and Fez endure Bob's rambling stories in exchange for free beer, and Kitty and Lori crash one of Midge's wild therapy sessions. It's a packed episode full of teen drama, awkward laughs, and wrestling nostalgia that makes it a standout, whether you're a wrestling fan or not. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The gang wrestles for the troops. Only It's Always Sunny could take a tribute to the troops and turn it into full-blown wrestling madness. After watching Hulk Hogan versus Nikolai Volkov on Dee's laptop, Charlie convinces the gang to throw a wrestling event for the troops. Frank wants in as the Trash Men, but they reject him. Meanwhile, Dee flirts online with a soldier named Ben under the alias Desert Rose, and panics when she finds out he's in a wheelchair. She runs off, and Frank invites Ben to the show instead. The gang recruits Da Maniac, played by Roddy Piper, as their star. But when he's arrested, they convince Rickety Cricket to take his place. The Birds of War, Dennis, Charlie, and Mac wrestle Cricket, who shows up dressed as a terrorist called the Taliban. Dee sings Kiss from a Rose before getting hit with a chair, sand gets thrown, Mac runs away, and Frank finally storms the ring with a trash can. As Cricket bleeds from the neck, the crowd erupts, and Frank stands victorious while Real American plays. It's offensive, chaotic, and pure Philly insanity, sunny at its most unhinged.
It's a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene.
Family Matters, Psycho Twins. In this classic episode, Steve Urkel and Carl Winslow find themselves in one of the most outlandish situations of the entire series. And that's saying something. It all starts when the two accidentally give a pair of professional wrestlers some sleepy time medicine before their big match. In true sitcom logic, the only solution is for them to don the tights, step into the ring, and fill in as last-minute replacements. They think it's going to be a joke, a performance, a little friendly slapstick. But then the opponents are revealed, none other than the Bushwhackers. And that's when things go sideways. Like many sitcom wrestling episodes, Carl and Urkel go in thinking the match is staged. You can practically hear them chuckling, ready to play along until they take their first bump. Kayfabe is alive and well, and it hurts. Every scoop slam and clothesline from the Bushwhackers brings a new layer of pain and regret. It's the perfect mix of physical comedy and that classic sitcom misunderstanding. The whole thing even plays out with the same magical, "Wait a minute, is this real" energy that shows have during Christmas episodes, when a random gift appears and all the characters start side-eyeing each other like maybe Santa actually exists. Except this time, it's not Santa. It's two sweaty men from New Zealand licking faces and laying down punishment. And honestly, that's even better.
Singing, yippee-ki-yay,
Yippee-ki-yay, what?
like the cowboys say.
Hey Dude, Killer Ernst. In this hidden gem from Hey Dude, Mr. Ernst gets a little too into a wrestling match on the radio and tweaks his neck trying to mimic the moves of the masked marauder. Embarrassed, he hides the injury under a necktie and quickly shifts focus to a new money-making idea, hosting a wrestling event at the Bar None Ranch. To everyone's surprise, it's actually a good idea. He even books the real Captain Lou Albano to headline the event. The gang is hyped, the phones are ringing off the hook, and Lou shows up acting like a wild man, demanding raw meat and nightly wake-up calls to stay mean. But when the original masked marauder backs out, the ranch's future hangs in the balance. So, with everything on the line, Mr. Ernst agrees to step into the ring as the new masked marauder. What follows is an absolutely ridiculous wrestling match, where he gets tossed around by Lou like a rag doll, only to win by accident when Lou knocks himself out. It's goofy, surprisingly intense, and totally in character for the show. And just when Mr. Ernst thinks it's over, he learns Jake signed him up for another match, this time against a Samoan tag team. Killer Ernst may have won the battle, but he's already lost the war. King of the Hill, Bobby Slam. Hank is thrilled when Bobby joins the wrestling team at Tom Landry Middle School. Finally, something manly. Meanwhile, Peggy substitutes for the girls' gym class and is outraged to find the girls treated like second-class athletes, denied new equipment and uniforms while the boys get everything. Her frustration grows when Connie, inspired by Peggy's fight for equality, decides she wants to join the wrestling team. Coach Kleehammer tries to block Connie, but after a lawsuit threat from her parents, he allows it, then makes Bobby wrestle her at tryouts. It's a no-win. If Bobby wins, he's a bully. If he loses, he's humiliated. To avoid disaster, Bobby and Connie fake the match using wrestling video game moves. The adults are confused, but the students eat it up. This episode nails how King of the Hill balances comedy, social issues, and wrestling flair, all with a Texas twist. Bob's Burgers, Crab-solutely Fabulous. This episode starts with Teddy grabbing takeout while mentioning he's building a wrestling ring. That's all Louise needs to hear. She, Gene, and Tina rush off with him and pitch themselves to the show's creative director, Carol. She challenges them to come back with costumes and storylines, which they do, with Gene as the diva, Tina as the silent badass, and Louise as the unpredictable wild card. Their debut is chaos, so Teddy joins the act to help them clean it up. As they prepare for the big show, Gene and Tina want out, Teddy's injured, and Louise still refuses to quit. In the end, she convinces Bob and Linda to join the match, and they help bring the house down. Afterward, Louise turns down Carol's offer to keep wrestling, choosing family over fame. It's a fun, over-the-top episode that highlights Louise's ambition, and her rare moment of maturity when she walks away for the greater good. Even if it meant giving up the title belt, she still walked away a champ.
Love and marriage, it's an institute you can't disparage.
Married with Children, Flight of the Bumblebee. In true Married with Children fashion, this episode brings the pain, mainly to poor Bud Bundy, hoping to join Al's men-only group, No Ma'am. Bud poses as a wrestler named the Bumblebee to sneak into the ring at WrestlePalooza and snap a photo with the legendary King Kong Bundy. It's a terrible plan, and it goes about as well as you'd expect. The moment Bud enters the ring in his silly bee costume, he's ragdolled by Bundy with wild physical comedy, which just makes it even funnier. Kelly tags along and turns heads in a sparkly gold dress, while the rest of the Bundy family watches the mayhem unfold on TV. Al and his no-man buddies are pumped, but Peggy and the other wives get a little too excited. Sweaty wrestling apparently does wonders for their hormones. The whole thing builds to a perfect punchline. Bud and Al side by side on hospital gurneys, hooked up to IVs, moaning in pain, and keep your eyes peeled. There's an early appearance by Michael Clark Duncan as a bouncer. It's dumb, it's loud, and it's hilarious. Classic Bundy madness. Mama's Family, Mama Mania. You probably weren't expecting Mama's Family to step into the wrestling world, but the episode Mama Mania delivers one of the most unexpected and hilarious tag team matchups in sitcom history. It all starts when Naomi reconnects with an old high school friend who's now a professional wrestler. She's in need of a last-minute partner for an upcoming women's tag team match and convinces Naomi to step into the ring. Naomi's excited but nervous, ready to throw down with her glam squad attitude and plenty of flair. But as sitcom fate would have it, Mama gets involved in a way no one saw coming. Mama accidentally knocks out Naomi's wrestling partner, which means she now has to fill in. Yep, Mama Harper herself straps on the boots and becomes one half of the wrestling duo known as the Queen Bees, taking on the fearsome masked Mabels in a match no one expected. Watching Mama in a leotard, cutting promos and stomping around the ring like she's ready to take on the Road Warriors is pure comedy gold. The physical humor is top-notch, and the chemistry between Mama and Naomi, usually centered on snarky banter, turns into chaotic ringside teamwork. It's campy, over the top, and one of those rare episodes that pulls off ridiculous sitcom wrestling while keeping every second fun. Mama Mania is the pile driver you didn't know your nostalgia needed.
Come on down South Park and meet some friends of mine.
South Park, WTF. In classic South Park fashion, this episode takes a steel chair to the world of professional wrestling and never lets up. It kicks off with the boys attending a WWE live show in Denver, where they witness Edge and John Cena trading promos and brawling in the ring. Inspired by the drama, they join the school's wrestling club, only to be disappointed that it's actual wrestling, not the wild storytelling they saw on TV. So they create their own federation, the Wrestling Takedown Federation, WTF, complete with ridiculous monologues, fake pregnancies, and betrayal storylines. The episode spoofs legends like Nikolai Volkov, Sergeant Slaughter, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, while also including nods to Batista, R-Truth, Rey Mysterio, and Kofi Kingston. Eventually, even Vince McMahon shows up, mistaking their soap opera theatrics for real talent. It's a hilarious jab at how WWE prioritizes drama over actual wrestling, and a must-watch for fans of either world. And that wraps up our main event. 10 unforgettable TV episodes that stepped into the wrestling ring and absolutely delivered. From sitcom hijinks to animated anarchy, these shows took everything we love about pro wrestling, the drama, the characters, the chaos, and turned it into pure comedic gold. Whether you're a lifelong wrestling fan or just here for the laughs, these episodes prove that wrestling is way more than just body slams and steel chairs. It's storytelling at its wildest. So, what did you think of this lineup? Which episode was your favorite? Did I miss one that should have been on the card? Hit the comments and let me know which one you think deserves the championship belt of TV wrestling episodes. And if you're as hyped as I am for WrestleMania 41 this weekend, let's hear your predictions. Who's walking out with the gold? A huge shout out and heartfelt thank you to our amazing throwback tier members, Peace by Chaos, THRILLA, iCritic, Mary Jarrell, Jeremy Bowen, and Mr. Blanks. Your support means the world, and you're helping keep the nostalgia alive in a big way. I also want to thank all the other awesome members who support the channel. Whether you're new or you've been rocking with us from the beginning, I appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to help the channel grow even more, don't forget to check out the merch shop. It's another great way to show support and rep that nostalgic love wherever you go. So now I ask you, who won this match of episodes? Which one body slammed the competition? And which one do you think tapped out too early? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and until next time, know your role and keep the nostalgia alive, jabroni.